It was a rainy Friday night in the city, the kind that wrapped the streets in silver mist and slowed time down just enough for longing to slip in. Amara was late, closing up her little bookstore, her fingers brushing over the last stack of romance novels she had to shelve. She didn't hear the door chime, but she felt him. Damien, tall, soaked from the rain, eyes smoldering like he knew he wasn't just here for a book. "You're still open?" he asked, voice low, hands tucked in his coat. She tilted her head. "Only for people who know what they're looking for." Their eyes locked. Thunder rolled softly outside. Moments later, they stood inches apart, between shelves lined with passion stories. His fingers grazed the spine of a book, then hers. "You always read the endings first?" he murmured. "Only when I want to ruin the surprise," she breathed, her voice already shaking with what was unsaid. Then he kissed her, not rushed, not soft either. It was the kind that tasted like unsent messages and nights spent wondering what if. Books fell. She didn't care. Hands tangled in her hair, her back pressed to the shelves, her lips parted not just for the kiss, but for everything she'd been holding in. The rain outside turned heavier, like the sky itself was holding its breath for them. Damien's hands weren't hurried. They were intentional, reverent. He held Amara like someone who didn't just want her body, but the silence she kept inside, the parts no one had ever touched. She pulled him closer by the collar, lips tracing the line of his jaw, her breath warm, tasting of want and withheld dreams. "You always touch people like this?" she whispered, voice trembling against his skin. "Only the ones I've imagined touching for far too long," he answered, his voice a confession. Her cardigan slipped from her shoulders. His fingertips followed the trail of exposed skin like he was reading a poem, slow, focused, and feeling every word. The scent of old pages mixed with her perfume. The shelves creaked. A book slid to the floor, forgotten. His mouth found the hollow of her neck, and she arched toward him, not out of reaction, but relief, like something inside her had been waiting for this moment to finally breathe. Their bodies moved like they'd done this in 1,000 dreams, but never once in reality. It wasn't frantic. It was hungry and grateful all at once. And as his hand slid down her back and she pulled him even closer, Amara realized this wasn't just lust. It was recognition of something unfinished finally beginning. Sunlight crept in through the bookstore's high windows, golden and soft, dust catching in the beams like suspended memories. Amara stirred first. Her cheek rested on Damien's bare chest, rising and falling slowly with each breath he took. There was a kind of peace she hadn't known she was searching for, and now it was wrapped around her like his arm still was. They hadn't made it home. The couch in the back room had become their sanctuary, tangled limbs, hushed laughter, whispered things neither had planned to say. Now, in the quiet, something else bloomed, vulnerability. Damien's voice broke the silence, low and almost shy. "I didn't mean for last night to happen like that." Amara looked up. "Like what?" He smiled faintly. "So real." She let her fingers trace invisible circles on his chest. "I've spent years letting people close, but never letting them in. You," she hesitated, "walk straight past my walls without trying." He held her gaze, eyes serious now. "That's because I wasn't trying to get in. I was just showing up." They lay there, quiet again, not because they ran out of words, but because silence had become safe between them. Then she whispered, "What happens next?" Damien didn't rush the answer. He just took her hand, kissed her knuckles, and said, "We wake up, we try, we see what grows." And with that, the morning light felt even warmer, as if the universe was silently rooting for them, too.